Hi guys, welcome. This is How You Do It again. We're making chicken fried rice today, an easy one. We're going to use one, this is going to make probably 3 or 4 portions. We're going to use 1 big chicken breast, 2 eggs, leftover cooked rice that we had, thus the fried rice, some mushrooms, onion, peppers, any pepper work. We happen to have red pepper, some oil, garlic, I don't know if I mentioned salt and pepper. Soy sauce is kind of a thing I put on in the end, and teriyaki. Now I got a teriyaki glaze, so I'm gonna be thinning it out with some water. But if you have a teriyaki liquid that comes like really liquidy, you can just use that. This one has to be thinned out a little bit so that it mixes through the rice properly. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is start with our thawed chicken breast. It's really thick, so I'm gonna butterfly that through, and we're gonna cut it in pieces that are bite size because we don't want to have to cut it up when we're eating it. I'm just going to cut it in little chunks, and we're going to cut those again into bite-sized pieces by turning them. Turn those again. Same thing here. Cut it in strips, and we'll cut it again the other direction to get it in bite-sized pieces. Kind of like little chicken nuggets. And we're going to get our pan turned on here as soon as I get done cutting this chicken. There we go. I'm going to turn the pan on pretty high because I want to sear this again. I'm going to wash my knife while that's heating up here for a second. We'll be changing cutting boards over to vegetables until the pan heats up. I'm going to slide that out of the way. I want to grab a fresh cutting board and some stuff for veggies. I'm going to put about probably 3 tablespoons of oil. There's a lot of chicken and veggies that got to be fried in this. The chicken I have sitting here, we're going to do salt, pepper, and garlic all over, so kind of spread it all out. Okay, so I'm going to salt and pepper and garlic this. It takes quite a bit because a lot of it's going to come off right in the pan. So I wouldn't do too much salt just because it's got teriyaki in it, which has got salt. So we're just going to kind of mix that again and get it coated. I'm going to do 1 more coat on it so it's all the way around it. That's quite a bit of garlic, like I said, because it gives it, you can use fresh garlic if you wanted, but powdered always in the house. So we'll let that sit for a minute while the pan heats up, and I'll wash my hands again. So I touch the raw meat. And we're going to come back to the veggies. Okay, you can cut these however you want. We like them smaller. Just keep in mind that mushrooms shrink a lot when you cook them, so if you go really small, they'll just disappear. So we're going to do little chunks like 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch chunks. And these are baby portobellas. I'm cutting it down one way, rotate it over, go the other way to get little strips. Then just cut those little strips again into little chunks. Same thing here, we're going to go down, roll it over, down, and we're just going to cut chunks off. Like I said, these are going to fry up real small. We're not going to use a lot of pepper. I'm just going to use a little bit in there to give it color. It gives it a lot of flavor because it is like a green pepper, even though it's red. Red's just sweeter. We're going to dice those up, kind of small. The pan looks like it's getting pretty hot, so we're going to slide the chicken in.
I'll make sure the whole covered.
I'm trying not to touch it. The chicken's in. I didn't have to touch it, so I'll let that sit there for a second. I'm going to use 1/2 onion in this. Preferably not that bad part there, so we'll cut it one more time. There's a bad spot we're going to get rid of. And it just pops out. Take the skin off. And the reason I'm saying we're going to be down to 1/2 onion, because by the time I'm done I'll be at 1/2 onion, because there's a lot of stuff I'm not using on this onion. I'm going to slice it different this time. I'm going to go this way because the way I had to cut it, make strips, and then just dice in the other direction and you get little fine pieces. Chicken searing up over there. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. I can smell the garlic. I wish I had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. Again, on this one, just for the ease of purpose of cutting strips here. Normally if you have 1/2 onion, you would cut it different, but that one had a bad spot. I didn't want to get it mixed in with our food. So we got, I don't know, maybe half a cup of onion, quarter cup of green pepper, and half a cup of mushrooms. Plus we got like a 1 pound chicken breast. So this has all got to be sauteed with that chicken, but we want the chicken to be about 3/4 done when we put the veggies in. Maybe half. So we're trying to get it brown, basically. The veggies take a little bit to cook. That'll give the chicken time to finish up. It'll give it a little chickeny flavor because it's going to let a little juice out. I'm just kind of mixing it here, making sure it's all down. Now if you got a high side pan like this, it's going to be harder to flip. You can still flip them, but you can just use your spatula and roll them over if you need to. But let's see what we got here. I'm going to shake it to get it ready for a flip. Get it all down in that end. Roll them over. We missed a couple, so we'll flip them again. Like I said, we got this on high because we're trying to get this to sear just a little bit. And let that sear just a little bit more. They're probably about halfway done now. You see a little pink there, a little pink there. Another flip. And they're looking pretty good. I don't want to overcook them while I'm waiting for veggies, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the veggies in. And again, you're going to do more salt, pepper, garlic. You got a lot of rice you're going to be having to flavor here, so it seems like a lot right now, but when you add 4 or 5 cups of rice to it, you're going to be adding even more stuff to it. So it does take quite a bit of seasoning on these. Just going to spread them out. We just want to cook them a little bit, sear them. They should get soft pretty quick because of the liquid coming out of the chicken. I'm just going to mash them down to the bottom of the pan so they're all touching. Now when it comes to the rice prep, since it is cold, it tends to stick in a big clump. So best thing to do is dump it out of that pot. And you can see where it burned a little bit on the bottom. I'm going to take that piece off. We don't want that little burnt spot. There we go. So now we're down to about 4 cups of rice. I'm just going to break it apart with my hands so that when I put it in the pan, I don't have big clumps. And when it's cold, it's a lot more dry. It's a lot drier, I should say. Okay, let me get my hands rinsed off and get rid of the excess here. Now you can use fresh rice from the same day, but the whole reason fried rice was invented was because you're trying to use up the rice from the day before, so they refry it and add stuff to it to make it reusable. So we usually make fried rice after we've had a stir fry, because we end up with extra rice. And they're searing really nice here. Hard to see with all the things, but the fan's really loud. We're going to turn it down a little bit to get it down. The mushrooms are already getting soft. Everything's pretty much boiling in the juices. I'm going to flip it. Make sure they get to the other side. Kind of spread them down a little bit. And with that finishing up here, we're going to get out our bowl with 2 eggs in it. Fried rice has eggs in it. I usually do an egg per 2 cups of rice, and we got about 4 cups of rice. So I'm going to take 2 eggs. Whip it by rolling your fork over. I've gone over this before in videos. You're rolling the fork. You just go really fast, and it whips them up nice. Again, you're going to salt and pepper again, and garlic, because it's going to be spread out through the rice. And all that does is kind of pulls everything together there, makes it a little stickier. Checking the chicken right now, it looks pretty good. Before we add the rice, we got to make sure the chicken is done and the veggies are done. So once I put in that rice, we're only heating the rice. It doesn't have time to cook anything else in the pan. This rice is cold, so your goal is to heat the rice. It looks like all the chicken's nice and done. I'm going to put my egg in the middle there. Get a little egg going on. A little protein. And you're just making like a scramble in there. And it kind of just adds protein to the dish, and it just makes it taste that much better. And the egg gets about halfway, I guess, 3/4 way done. We're gonna put rice on right on top of that. And we're just gonna roll all that in there. All that goodness there. We don't want to lose that. You see the egg folding in. You get the yolk on it. And at this point, everything looks very white. And fried rice isn't usually this white, so that's where the teriyaki comes in, the secret ingredient there. I'm going to put a little water in there. You can too, to soften the rice and help the heating process. The steam will heat it, so I'm going to put like maybe 1/8 of a cup. This would be 2 tablespoons. Check it and make sure I didn't put too much. You don't want to turn the rice to mush. We're going to put in our teriyaki. If you have liquid teriyaki, they usually come in like a soy sauce look. It's going to take about 1/4 cup. I'm using a glaze, which is really thick. Still going to do about 1/4 cup, so I'm going to just add water to it. So to give it a little more way to move around. And then we're going to stir all that in. Remember to taste your food as soon as you get all this mixed in. Again, you're folding it. You don't want to jam into it because that rice will start turning into a big mush pile. And it's fried rice, so you don't want to make mashed potatoes out of it. Still got that on high. We're going to do one more thing of salt and pepper and garlic. We just added 4 cups of rice to it. Garlic's probably one of the most important one with the teriyaki when it comes to the fried rice. I can hear it sizzling. We're going to flip that over. All we're trying to do is heat the rice now. Once the rice is heated, the egg that was left over will all be cooked into it like a little coating. All right, give it a little taste. It's not too hot. That's perfect. So now the rice is hot. You don't want to overcook it, I said, because you're cooking that rice again. So just take it off the heat, and it's ready to serve. Maybe a plate. This will be enough for everyone in the house to eat tonight. It goes a long way. Got egg and chicken and everything else in there. So I don't know if I can make it look fancier for you. You could always top it with some fresh green onion or something and make it look fancy. And here's some fried rice.
And what you gotta do with your soy sauce?
I finish it. I put soy sauce on mine at the end when I'm going to eat it. It's just a condiment. I left it in that picture because just remember to get soy sauce if you have people in your house that like it on their food.
Make it a little bit more bitter, make it more salty, and also make it a little bit more dark.
That's how I would do mine, and then I'm happy as a kid. Thank you for watching. Please try it and comment. Let us know how it comes out for you. Have a good day.